Hey everyone, welcome to the MatMadik PCA channel. Sorry I've been away for a week. I really wanted to get on this song when it dropped, but hey, better late than never. Tom MacDonald, Pray for the Left. We're checking that out today. I want to catch up with all that I missed out on, the Grammy songs, the halftime show songs, voice plays. Oh my god, sorry people. But Tom MacDonald's one of my favorite rappers because, well, I'll probably explain while we get started. He's just makes the genre worth listening to for a reactor. I can't do with much of the brain rot from your other standard artists out there. It's just not fair. But we're gonna find out what Tom MacDonald's got for us today. And just so you know, people, a little disclaimer. I what do I do? I may let the video just stay up without the reactions, without the video play snipped out. But who knows? I mean, I'm gonna try and if I'm sure this will get claimed by Tom. I may just let the video stay up here. I may want to just like preserve the ad revenue side of it. But you know what, Tom, and anybody out there whose video you want me to react to, you don't owe me my claims. I'd appreciate it, but that's all. If my dispute is rejected, no worries, no harm done. Let's keep rocking. We're here to have fun together, people. And the second thing about me, in case you don't know, I'm a teacher and teach English as well. And my students often ask me to suggest vibes or events or things that or social things or events that we can enjoy while listening to music I actually am presenting today. So I'm gonna do that. And with every pause, I'll probably drop a suggestion. And that's it. All right. So without that all being said, let's begin. And a happy Valentine's Day in advance. Yeah. If you needed to hear that. Anyway.
They always said that Charlie Kirk was a Nazi.
Oh wow. Just going straight.
Then they celebrated after they killed him. They tried to tell us that Black Lives Matter and that white people have always been villains.
Nice. Sorry, people. I was gonna put the subtitle, the captions, but I thought, let me just listen to it.
They burning flags in the streets and they scream at police, taking illegals to prison. They got rainbows on their bedroom walls, and they swear to God that men can be women. They're scrolling through their TikToks to get the news. They heard that Trump's a fascist. They swear it's true. They set fire to Minnesota. We smell the fumes.
Oh,
they
man.
say that guns are dangerous. Guess they're the proof.
Wow. Alright, that's the first verse. I just love his songs. His lyrics are just so clear to the point and they resonate. It's not a load of tongue twisters and what have you, and rhythmic brain wormage, if that's a word, to get you mesmerized. No, it's just hard hitting stuff that stands out in the land of the crazy. The sane one is it seems crazy, and he's just saying things that are so clear. He was a champion. Tom MacDonald has been a champion for us who've been trying to just speak our voice on YouTube. I've been blocked 7 times. So check out my YouTube shorts for that. For just saying things like he just said right here. Now, of course, one could say to themselves, how is he allowed to get away with it? Is he part of the system? I don't care. I just want this to be, this message to be out there. And like I said, it's lovely to listen to. It's refreshing to me. Now, so far, like I said, I've yet to react to the NFL halftime show from TPUSA. Sorry, the alternative by TPUSA, which I'd love to get down to. And this song feels like it belongs at that kind of get together. And I imagine people at that get together for TPUSA would probably banging this on amongst themselves, or rocking out, whatever term you'd like to use. I love it. I just love the fact that he just listed out a series of contradictions that would encourage or evoke sympathy in the average person with good grounding. In this case, I imagine a Christian, a real one, not these tribalists who, well, so-called tribalists who just hide amongst our ranks. But and I'm not talking about purity tests. I'm talking about people who ought to have Christian values, but prove themselves to just be tribalists that is to say, in this case, you shouldn't want to kill, or oh my god, I just said a word that people often mute themselves for in YouTube, but you shouldn't want to see the demise of your political opponents. If you're a true Christian, you should pray for them. That's it. And yeah, and even in the face of them wanting to slay us, you know, I love Trump. I'm on the right. I'm on the right, but that's not me. MAGA is not even the right. It's not. It's actually true centrism. It kind of leans right, but it's really centrality, if you will, because excuse me, because what you have with let's say you take somebody on the far right. I don't want to even call him that. He wouldn't like to be called that. But let's say Bryson Gray or Tyson James, all these other people who call themselves Christians, but they're really I'm sorry to call you this gentleman. If you hear my reaction, I'm going to say this: be more tribeless than anything else. You're just saying people to smithereens instead of realizing you need to strike a middle ground. You need to find common ground with people who you disagree with. Now, again, sorry, when you get people who call themselves Christians really not too forgiving about these people that they have issues with, I personally stay away from them, and I stay away from that energy. If it was in you, just let it go. Let go, take care of it. But yeah, the powerful thing about this pray for the left is that's what you should do. I mean, here's my thing. This is why I don't like Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes, these plants. I say is because people say Candace Owens is truly on the left, where she came from, and she's still on the left. Why? Because, as I say, the left cancel, but the right unsubscribe. I don't want Candace Owens to go out of business or anything. I wish, and most people who on the right who are confused as to why she's taking the aggressive stance she's taken on TPSA and her supposed friend Charlie is excuse me. A lot of people are saying that her behavior is upsetting, but they don't want her finished. Whereas on the other hand, she is trying to destroy TPSA. And that is like a cancel culture impulse, a cancel cultist's impulse, and that's why I don't work with it. So let me know, people. I just wanted to thought I'd unpack all that. It's been a while, but let's get back to the song and let the song take us into the cook.
They'll shoot that red hat off your head, then make a meme of your last breath. Cause you're not like them, so they want you dead, but we'll still pray for the left. They'll say that they're hurt by things we said, they say we deserve it when we're dead. When we're shot in the neck with our last breath, we'll still pray for the left.
That's beautiful. That's how you do it. This is exactly what I was saying. The right, because you know when somebody has sense, when they truly want unity. When Erica Kirk said she forgives her husband's assassin, that's real Christianity. Now again, the reason why I say President Trump and MAGA is not necessarily right, because President Trump admits he hates his opponents, and he actually came from the left too. He actually was a Democrat along with Giuliani. But right now, sorry, my lips are really dry. Right now, you come to see that there's more sanity on the right. The trick with the right is that being the gentle lambs as we're portrayed to be, as the song actually suggests we are, you don't get much done when your enemy's coming to get you. Some people try to take advantage of that. Even like people like David Icke, who I would follow. Oh my god! When the scamdemic first started, I would say I really admired what he was saying. He was speaking out, and what he said, just like with Candace Owens, who came out at first with her common sense takes, really helped people find the strength to not comply. You know the whole thing about do not comply. The trick is do not comply is not enough. And for those who actually wanted to be pacifists, as the right are sometimes characterized as being, it seemed to be a nice response to not simply go along to survive. The thing is, when you're dealing with an enemy, let's be clear about that right now, which is essentially just another aspect of us. We all have the ego inside us. desperate and will do some awful things to just try and survive. When you're dealing with an enemy that is trying to get you, or trying to force you to bend you to its will, that would happily slay you if you do not comply. Simply not complying is not enough because ultimately they want you destroyed, right? So not complying is not enough. It's a good start. But say I will not admit to something that I know to be a fix, like Tom MacDonald was saying when it comes to the gender issue, well, sex issue, I should say. But what you want to do is go a step further and say, I need to get these people out of it, and that's what President Trump actually took action to do. Here we are. We are now, thanks to the Trump administration. First in America, getting rid of the mask nonsense, which wasn't a matter of the scientists say this and scientists say that. The so-called scientists who advised us to put the mask on were overpowered by laws, not by tests, because the tests already proved that these masks were ineffective, but they ignored that anyway. So we had to overpower them through force, and that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have to take that force to stop this, because if you just let the enemy run over you, you're kind of, what David Out is effectively doing is telling people to be sitting ducks in the name of passive nihilism, appearing not to be a nihilist by saying, I'm not going to comply. I'm just going to stand my heels dug in and probably put my head in the sand too, and just at least I die with my pride. Hey, listen, I'm not going to die, sir, for what you're saying. And if you took the shot, by the way, nothing against you. The truth is, Christians know that, real Christians know, even if you took the shot, it doesn't matter, because if you thought it had power against you, as the Bible said, you can swallow snake, live snakes wouldn't hurt you. It's not, as Jesus said, it's not what goes into you that corrupts you, it's what comes out. The whole point of the whole hysteria is to get you to confess to something that you knew wasn't true, like they said in Sin City, getting the world to play along with a big lie. When you do that, they can get you to do anything. That's the whole point. When you comply, that's what you do. But you don't want to simply not comply. You want to override this this mad oh my god, this mad edict that's being forced on you and drive it away. And that's what President Trump claims to represent, or seems to represent, by saying, I'm going to actually take action against my opponents. I'm not just going to say thy will be done and cross my fingers and move on about my day. Not to belittle what Christianity, pacifism in Christianity can do, but he's going to actually fight them. And we are free because of this. So, yeah. And of course, when David showed that he had a bit of TDS, I thought, yeah, that's when I had a bit of quite a bit of TDS. I thought, yeah, this guy, that's a big red flag as to why I don't trust you anymore. When people bring results like President Trump does, I respect that and I follow that. Unlike what Tom MacDonald does with his lyrics, just pulling things out clearly and letting you know what you're dealing with. And here we are today, people. Here we are today, and it's all about being real. Being real, not complying, but not admitting to lies out of fear. Well, admit the truth. If anything, out of fear, admit the truth, but admit the truth out of boldness. Pretty scary to do, and it's not so easy. Like I said, if you took the shot under duress, it's certainly not your fault or anything, but as Christianity actually says, you can actually be healed. I mean, if you really believe in Jesus, you believe in the power of healing, if you feel that you've been afflicted and you're under the influence, therefore. So, sorry people, I just wanted to unload, it's been a while. And for the recommendation so far, what I feel the song suits. Again, I'm just thinking the Super Bowl. This whole song is something to listen to. If you were if you went to the TPUSA event, or if you're watching it at home, the halftime show, sitting down and talking to people over the lyrics of this song, it sounds like if I was listening to this is pure TPUSA halftime show song filler, and not just filler to keep you entertained, but to keep you really thoughtfully conscientious of what's going on. All right, people, let me know what you think so far. Let's keep it going. Verse 2.
Praying for the left. They keep saying that ICE are the Nazis, so they're buying guns and tracking positions. Go tell the parents of the kids who were killed. Illegal immigrants are really the victims. They say America ain't safe if you're black or trans or gay. I think it's way more more dangerous to be a Christian.
Amen.
Y'all started acting different back when Anthony Fauci made you keep the ones you love at a distance.
Amen.
They're scrolling through their TikToks and Tifa clips. They say that Trump is Hitler. They're mad they missed. They think they how they feel is how it is. And conservatives are evil. We shouldn't live.
That's amazing. It's fantastic. He really knows how to just get to the point with his songs. Yeah, people. Everything he laid out is everything I was talking about. It goes all the way back to the Fauci situation and all we've been through. This is when I woke up in 2019. It's just something that I'll never forget. When the mosque came on, it was like, wow, looking at all the people in the world who are blue-pilled and who comply with the matrix. Now, again, it's not always that easy. Sometimes people literally have to play along to get along. You have families to take care of. You can't just say, I'm not going to comply and let your families perish. If you were put under duress to endure what you did not want to, it's not your fault, and I completely understand. But the issue comes when you try to tell other people, again, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a teacher. I'm having a school, they asked me to tell children to put it on, and I was like, it drives me insane. I feel awful every day. So, like I said, sometimes you're in a position where you're forced to, and I've been through some hell over that. Even effectively forced to take a test when I didn't want to either, and I'm like, thank God I don't work at that place anymore. Well, it's not so much a crap place; it's the guy anyway to deal with, and we all went through that. But God hears our cries, and God's not mocked. Pray for relief, for comfort, and for justice and conversation. We'll get it. We get it. And you don't need to worry about what the world's put you through, and what we've been made to be put through by putting ourselves at odds with each other, like we're in the Squid Games. We don't have to worry about that. We really can just come to Christ, and all the pain washed away, and as it's never happened. All that really lasts is what really happened, and that's the love of God. So that's my Christian take on the whole thing. And you know what? Again, this is just pure TPUSA stuff. This should be on the playlist of songs from that TPUSA halftime show song list. Let me know, people, if you think this song, based on what I said, belongs on the playlist of such songs.
Shoot that red hat off your head, then make a meme of your last breath. 'Cause you're not like them, so they want you dead. But we'll still pray for the left. They'll say that they're hurt by things we said. They say we deserve it when we're dead. When we're shot in the neck with our last breath, we'll still pray for the left.
Another thing I want to say, people, is when I just mentioned the Squid Games, it just reminded me of how this whole thing could seem very scripted, and a lot of us, when I say scripted, I mean when you look back at things, it seems like, wow, what a moment in history, like his story. This whole thing is being documented to be told at least as a story, if not pre-written. When you hear things coming out of the Epstein files, like Bill Gates and Epstein were talking about the pandemic beforehand, and Fauci talking about there's going to be a surprise pandemic. What do you mean? There's going to be a surprise? A surprise to you? What do you mean? It's a surprise party. What are you talking about? When you hear people talking about these things before they've stricken, and of course, when it comes to the scripture, these things playing out as pastors at least would interpret from re-examining the scripture and looking at what our current occurrences as prophecy fulfilled. We have to ask ourselves, what character in the movie do you want to be? You want to be on the right side of history, as they put it. But don't hold yourself too much to that narrative by being on the right side of history at the same time, because history is written by those who win, and to be a good guy or a bad guy, it's really subjective. But speaking of subjective, it doesn't mean just because we have our own opinions of what's right and wrong, it doesn't mean that our opinions are invalid just because they may be different from another's. It's like I always say, you may love someone. I love my spouse. You may love somebody, but how would you prove that to someone? You can't prove it logically with your information. I could, no matter what I can tell you, I could honestly say I could be lying. To which somebody could say, I don't think you're lying, but you don't know. Only I know. My opinion, my subjective perception matters in that case of speaking. As Tom MacDonald would say, the truth. That term, I think, has been misinterpreted, misunderstood. It simply means something that is true to you. And speaking of movies, by the way, going on this whole tangent, it definitely makes me think of The Matrix. This is pure Matrix, red pill, blue pill city. That's the movie that comes to mind, people. But let me know what you think of the song so far. Let's keep going.
Scratching swastikas and Teslas ain't gonna change a thing. You can burn our cities down, but we'll just make them great again. Oh, they hate us cause they say that we are full of hate. They wanna kill all the police trying to keep them safe. They'll shoot that badge of yours right off your chest. They want a civil war. Pray for the left.
Good clap. I wonder what what's gonna happen when I press play. Yeah, that is it. When you hear, I have friends, people I've befriended with, what have you, who went crazy woke right. By the way, the woke. It's funny. This bit. I'm sorry I said this at the end of the video. I wish I said it earlier. The woke are the issue, and it's not even only the left who are woke. They're woke right too. Like the people who follow Candace Owens, in my opinion, people who follow Nick Fuentes, people who become nihilists and they think they're on the right, or MTG, and people who have found themselves saying, what uses it anyway? Burn the whole system down. When this, like I said, this person I know said, "Oh, Trump betrayed us." What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was thinking to myself. I asked him to explain himself, and he just rattled off all these theories and not strings from Fuentes, and I'm like, God, what the X? I'm thinking. I actually told him, don't talk to me about Trump anymore. Let's talk about something else that we like. Not to say that. Oh no, I said let's not talk about Trump, because I just wanted to keep him from having a melty. But I thought to myself, wow, yes, remember the Matrix when Bane, I think the character in Matrix Revolutions, not Revolutions, Reloaded, he got infected with Smith and he came back into Zion and he was effectively he became like woke inside it's inside Zion, which is what I'm talking about. That can happen for real. Even Cypher was one of the first ones to go crazy in Zion. You think on the right, and if you watch a movie, a channel, YouTube channel called The Matrix Explained, it goes into as to why that can happen. When you get into a hive mind and you don't think for yourself and you just keep your righteous thoughts, if you will, are really the results of someone else's feedings. After a while, you can start to doubt yourself. And no, sorry. After a while, you find that you can become susceptible to mind viruses and other kinds of poisonings. But as President Trump says, who's with you when you're already down? Who won't betray you? Those are the real ones. You'll be tested, people. There'll be a lot of Job's wives coming out there telling you to curse blood and die. What does that do? Why are you giving me this nihilism as though you think I'm stupid? It's like when President Trump's Truth Social had a clip of Obama's apes. Even saying it now is kind of funny, but now whether that's 4D chess or not, President Trump can use it to his advantage just to get attention. But here, took it down. But you just know that some people are gonna say, "Come on, Nicki Minaj, look at him. He thinks you're a monkey ass nigga. You need to disavow." And shut up. As if I can't think for myself. I don't care. I think it's funny. Maybe she's saying that, but that's what I'm saying. I can't have any. You can't have these. You can't have people, naysayers finagle their way into your ears to try and drive you crazy like this. So what I'm trying to say in conclusion, the retardation can slip in from any angle, but you need to make sure, just like Jesus said to, I think it was Peter, "Who do you say I am?" You know, never mind what somebody says. Your favorite influencer, that time influencer is hilarious. Your favorite pundit or whoever you use ever whoever's information or intel you use to guide you where you're going. Make sure you have your internal compass guiding you most of all. And yeah, this um I know the Matrix games kind of sucked, but should I put this game in the league of Into the Matrix? Nope. I think someone's a bit beyond that game. Um, where would I put this song as far as being in a game is concerned? Maybe an original. We need a new one that can really feature a song like this. Of course, you're not gonna have a song with such politically charged. You know, hey, put it in that Alex Jones game. You know that Alex Jones game. I think this song could really feature there. But yeah, please, people, let me know where you think this song belongs in our culture, our society. Yeah, so that's my take on it. Let's let the song play out, and I'll see if I have anything else to add.
They'll shoot that red hat off your head, then make a meme of your last breath. Cause you're not like them, so they want you dead. But we'll still pray for the left. They'll say that they're hurt by things we said, and say we deserve it when we're dead. When we're shot in the neck with our last breath, we'll still pray for the left, praying for the left.
Man, that's it. That is it. Pray for the left. How does it end on the
Pray for the left, praying for the left.
That is it. That is it. Tom, that's how you sing it, man. Nova and Tom, well done. The fact that you have such a strong image that looks like you're actually on the left, but you're speaking such right truth, it's amazing. I really hope, Tom, that you stay pure, you and Nova, in this message. Because, like I said, a lot of us are susceptible to this. It's funny, speaking of that, with J.K. Rowling, I don't know what a situation is. If I were her, I take the leap of faith like Nicki Minaj and join the right. But oh well, this may take the biscuit too much. But she said it too. She said the Death Eaters, who she spoke about in her book, and she was talking about these retards, people who hate you because you're not them. And yeah. Speaking of J.K. Rowling, this goes back to one of the topics from her first book, The Philosopher's Stone. And the reason I bring this up, I'm going to end on this little note. I'll try and expand on it in my next videos about game news and what have you. But there's a book called The Alchemist about a man who could make gold. And the Philosopher's Stone is very much that kind of concept, being able to generate wealth through magical device, if you will. This whole thing comes down to money. It's a central bank system that wants to keep people believing in its lies. One thing President Trump has made sure he's focused on doing is freeing people, returning the power to the people, like he said. And when you do that, when you see, as people are going to see it little by little, and by the time this videos come out, it may have happened already. By the time you see that you don't need to pay taxes for much sakes, it's over. It's over, and you can breathe a sigh of relief that no more of these deceptions will work. But we had to learn the hard way. And for those of you who are wondering what the central bank is all about, it's an institution that took America's dollars off the gold standard and backed our dollars with debt instead. I say our, I mean the fiat system backs the world's currencies with debt instead of actual gold. So for those of you, I just want to drop you this last little analogy before I go. For those of you want to understand it more, let's use a musical analogy, considering we're talking about Tom MacDonald. Imagine okay. Imagine there was a concert in your town, right? Like I heard this analogy recently, but I'm just tweaking it a bit to make it clearer. Imagine there was a concert, upcoming concert, in at this stadium in your area, not too far from your area, right? And you wanted to buy season tickets to be able to go to the next concert and the next concert and the next concert throughout the year, throughout your life, maybe as long as you want. right? You want to buy season tickets. I'll say for as long as you want. Let's just say for a fixed time. There's going to be an event. You want to buy these sponsored tickets. Imagine a vendor online wanted to sell you tickets, reserved tickets, right, for the show. You want to buy these seats. You want to buy the tickets for these seats, and you want to get a very good experience, and it's all very good. The thing is, what is this? Now, imagine this vendor did a deal with the stadium to make sure this whole thing, this operation went smoothly. Decided to sell people duplicate tickets, duplicate reservations, because they want to make more money. Hey, I'm going to sell front row tickets. You, and you. I'm just hoping that you won't notice. Right? Then the day comes and the first concert is going to play in the stadium. Everybody comes to rush the gate, and then the day of reckoning has come. You know, and the concert is going to have to break news people that we sold you tickets to seats that we don't have. So they turn around and say, "Hey, listen, we're not going to give you these concert tickets anymore. So sorry, I'm sorry, everybody. The tickets for the seats have been sold out. So we're going to have to give you tickets on a first come first served basis." What? So you come there with your tickets and you realize that the ticket's invalid. Someone else has gotten to seat 1A already, and they say to you, "Oh, don't worry. Listen, that ticket that you got there was a season pass. You can use it on another day. It's worth it. It's valuable. It's like money, right? Just hold on to it. Bring it for another day." And there you have it. The actual stadium or the vendor at least is made up with your hard earnings, and you're stuck with a ticket, that piece of paper that you're hoping is worth something. That's what's happened to the central bank. They've taken your gold in a bank, right? They give you a piece of paper for it, and then they pull the switch on you, and they of course printed out more tickets and sold out to as many people as possible. Everyone's got these tickets hoping that one day they can use it to at least see one show, and they just may never get to see any of that gold that they are looking forward to, right? And now we've got a system with a lot of paper floating around there. Okay, and when President Trump saying he wants to end the tax system, which is effectively keeping the valueless paper system going around and around, inflating by the form of inflating by virtue of taxes going up, what have you. In other words, charging you more for those tickets if you want to renew those concert tickets to go the next show. You got to part exchange, pay a bit more money with those season ticket passes, what have you. But the fact that President Trump's trying to attack this thing, and there are people who are trying to keep the system the way it is, these are the real enemies, by the way, left and right. These are the deep state creatures who want the economy to keep going on. When you have people, and long story short, when you have people in society who want the conning to continue, these are the woke, these are the brainwashed people, and we have to pray for them. But they, unfortunately, they're so dependent on the matrix that they'll fight to defend it and fight you. So this is what's going on. Keep your cool with whoever wants to keep things status quo, keep things where they are, and keep poo-poo all of Trump's wins and efforts. Don't listen to them. Keep your eye, follow the money, and watch gold. All right, people. I think that's enough for today. I'm gonna give you another video later on about a pre-recorded video of my gaming discussion with Gamer Dan, and tomorrow we'll be back with another one. Thanks, people, for this long-winded bit of news I wanted to give you. Thank you so much. Okay, Tom MacDonald, you rock. Nova, you rock. Please, people, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll keep it shorter next time. Okay, I'm so sorry about that, but it's been a week and I wanted to say so much I've learned. All right, peace. Catch you next time.